Warning: if you have your sound up, hope you enjoy. Anyways, enough of that. Hello kings, queens, and everything in between. Today I'll be talking about the 3 government branches, so let's go. First up, the judicial branch. The role of the judicial branch is to interpret and define law. This involves hearing individual cases and how the law should apply. Remember federalism: there are federal courts for federal law, and state courts for state laws. The current leader of the judicial branch is Chief Justice John G. Roberts, Jr. He was born on January 27, 1995 in Buffalo, New York. He studied at Harvard Law School and has been Chief Justice since 2005. Checks and balances. The executive branch can declare executive actions unconstitutional. This branch can also declare acts of Congress unconstitutional in the legislative branch. Basic principles of the American judicial system. As you can see below, the Supreme Court of the United States is split into 2. The 2 parts are the U.S. Courts of Appeals and the highest state courts. The U.S. Courts of Appeals has the federal administrative agencies, U.S. district courts, and specialized U.S. courts like the tax court. The highest state court has a state court of appeals, court of general jurisdiction, local trial courts of limited jurisdiction, and state administrative agencies. Now on to the executive branch. Executive branch carries out the laws, and is made up of the President, the Vice President, and the Cabinet. President can veto laws passed by Congress. The Cabinet must be nominated by the President and be approved by 51 senators. The leader of the executive branch of the U.S. government is the President of the United States. This also includes the Vice President plus a cabinet of leaders who are chosen by the President and must be approved by the Senate. Our President is Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris. Checks and balances. The executive branch checks on the legislative branch and the judicial branch. It can propose laws, veto laws, call special sessions of Congress, makes appointments, negotiates foreign treaties, appoints federal judges, and can grant pardons to federal offenders. Fundamental principles of the executive branch. The executive branch consists of the President, executive and cabinet departments, and independent government agencies. The President nominates judges. The President can veto congressional legislation. Congress approves presidential nominations, and controls the budget. The court can declare presidential acts unconstitutional, etc. On to the last one, the legislative branch. Legislative branch. The legislative branch makes the laws. The main lawmaking body of this branch is known as the legislature or Congress. Congress is bicameral, meaning it's made up of 2 parts, the House of Representatives and the Senate. Congress comes in session every 2 years. Leaders of the legislative branch. The Vice President of the United States, Kamala Harris, is the leader of the Senate. Checks and balances. The legislative branch checks on the executive and judicial branch, can override president's veto, ratify treaties, declare war, impeach and remove judges, etc. Basic principles of the legislative branch. Makes laws, approves presidential appointments, 2 senators from each state. The number of congressmen is based on population. Thank you for watching PLS. Subscribe. Hope you enjoyed.